I've missed you guys, so I thought I'd show you our Meatless Monday prep for dinner. Making tomato soup from stewed tomatoes instead of canned soup because we're trying to control sodium. And then instead of grilled cheese, we're having cheesy biscuits. I have pop can, some Jarlsberg, and I'm gonna put some cheese in between that. Don't be scared, this giant onion. I'm only going to use about a quarter. So onion and garlic is going to sweat it out. And I'm going to add some of this vegetable base. Love this better than dill. Stewed tomatoes. A little of the tomato paste. So yeah. Let's get the... let's get the biscuits in the oven first. For the record, I'm not easily frightened. But these pop cans freak the bejesus out of me. So yeah, I'm gonna pop it off screen so you don't hear me squeal like a little girl. It's supposed to be easy pull. So pull, pry with a spoon, and it pops. I'll tell you if that worked. Alright, that did work. Still scared me. Didn't squeal, but yeah. Whew. Alright, let's get these done. I've cut these, each of the biscuits open with a sharp, long knife. You could use a bread knife, but I find as long as they're still cool from the refrigerator, which I took them out of the fridge, popped them open, and immediately cut them open. So I'm going to put a couple of thinly sliced pieces of Jarlsberg in between, lid them, put a little bit of a sesame, black and white sesame on top, and pop them in the oven. I think 14 to 16 minutes, they should be good. Alright, so these are stuffed. I sprayed a little bit of olive oil. I don't know why my coconut spray is not working. I have to rinse it out. And then I'm going to put a little bit of black and white sesame seeds on top, just on each one. I don't know why I do these, but I like a little something extra on top. And since I'm not doing salt, that I'd do something nutty. Little something something. I'll show you what they look like before they go in the oven. Alright, off they go into a 350 degree preheated oven. So I'm not precise with my knife cuts for the onion because I'm going to puree this. So, but in the meantime I have 2 cups of hot tap water. I'm going to dissolve probably 2 teaspoons of the vegetable base in here. That's going to be added in addition to the tomatoes, which is a big 28-ounce jar, and I'm not sure, maybe half of the 6-ounce tomato paste, we'll see. I cook by eye. If you've never seen what this paste looks like, or the bouillon base, this is vegetable base. I also have beef and seafood in the fridge, so I'm just going to use 2 teaspoons of it. Nice and rich. Someone did all the hard work for me. Thank you. So I'm just, sorry, I gotta fog you up. I'm just wetting the onion, so I just lower the temperature. And the base has it all dissolved in the water. I'm gonna go open the cans of tomatoes, and it'll be simmering any minute now. So here's an important step. I have about a little less than half of the 6-ounce can, so maybe 2.5 ounces of the tomato paste. I want to cook this on its own first with the onions before adding all the liquid. I'll tell you why. I don't like the tinny taste of tomatoes, and sometimes you really have to cook that out. So let me use my right hand to mix that. You really only need a minute or two, kind of like when you're making a roux for bechamel, the cooking out of the flour. So now I'm going to start adding the tomatoes. And again, all of this is going to get pulverized, and then the stock. And that is the perfect amount. That's all I really want. And I'm going to let this simmer a little bit, and then I'm going to taste it for seasonings, salt, pepper, whatever I need to add. Maybe a little paprika, maybe a little bit of a heat. So we'll see. That is sweet paprika, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. I'm just going to mix that in and bring it up to boil, and then turn it down to simmer for about 10-15 minutes. Alexa, what's left on timer?
About 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. So biscuit's almost done. Yep, Alexa's telling me it's ready. Let's take out the biscuits. Look at these little beauties. A puff of cheese in the center. Nothing is, not even greasy spots. Yep, they look yummy. And soup is now simmering. I brought it to a boil. And then it's just a matter of 15-20 minutes. And then I will pulse it to make a nice smooth mixture. And I'll show you what it looks like all served up. So here's a little tip while the soup is finishing off. I have all this tomato paste, and I certainly don't want this to go bad, and I can't leave in the can. So I grabbed one of these little food grade containers from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 10. Actually, I think right now there's a bonus buy where there's a 12 pack for $1. They come in rounds and rectangles. Let me show you. I have some toasted peanuts saved in a little rectangle. And these are totally freezer ready. I can leave it in the fridge for the next couple of days. If I don't use it, I can pop it in the fridge or in the freezer with a little note with a Sharpie, permanent marker, saying when that's from and that it's tomato paste. I can add it to soups, stews, whatever I need to, and it won't go to waste. I love that. And yeah, so 6 ounces, so about half of that. Perfect, look at that. Now I feel better. I've turned the heat off, and if you want to let it cool a little bit, you can. I like to live dangerously, and I have asbestos fingers, so I'm going to use my immersion blender. If you're afraid of getting particularly this red stuff all over the place, you can always grab a paper plate, fold it in half, do a cut towards the center, and then fold it again so it looks like a triangle. Snip the center to fit the center of the, oh, Chihuahua just came to see me, and then place it, feed it like a collar, unfold it and feed it like a collar over the immersion blender, and then pop it over your pot so that way you won't get stuff everywhere. But I'm going to see if I could do it without it, but I am going to have to do this two-handed, so I'll be back when after it's done. I'll show you how smooth it is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I find this much safer and easier to do than transferring boiling hot liquid to a blender, which you could certainly do that as well. Always wash your blade right away. I just put it in the water in the sink. So I'm going to add a tiny little drizzle of heavy cream, and then probably when I go to plate, you can always soup this up, no pun intended, with some already cooked rice. I have some left over from jasmine rice from the other night. I'm not going to do that, but I just want to show you that there are options if you want to leave off the grilled cheese buns. But yeah, let's serve this up and eat it. Actually, I'm going to taste for flavor first. I might have to add some black pepper, maybe a little salt. I added a tiny little bit more pepper and 2 tablespoons of whipped cream, or whipping cream, so heavy cream. Not a lot. I mean, it's really nominal for this amount, but it makes it all look so much more luxurious. So I'm going to fill up our mugs, and then we'll have the cheesy Jarlsberg biscuits on the side. And I might put some sambal in mine. I keep this flavor spice neutral because I can always add it to my bowl, which is perfectly fine.